Hey kiddos, Miss Davis here. I have my whiteboard and some markers and my document camera, and I am going to show you one of the many strategies that you can use for addition and subtraction. This strategy is called the break apart strategy. This strategy is great because you kind of dissect your numbers and make problems that are easier to solve to get your final answer. So we are going to start with an addition problem. The addition problem that we are going to start with is 137 plus 55. We know that the unknown can be any symbol. I'm going to choose to have it be a box this time. So we are trying to find the unknown for 137 plus 55. So when you're doing the break apart strategy, you're going to look at how many digits there are in your number. Where does the place value start and end? So in the number 137, we have hundreds, tens, and ones. So I'm going to make almost a little like spider leg drawing here, just like this. Over here, I'm going to look, my number 55 only has tens and ones. So for this one, I only need to have two legs sticking out like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at this one right here. I know that this one represents more than just one. It represents one group of 100. So I'm going to write 100 there. Now I'm going to look at my 3. I know that the 3 represents 3 groups of 10, which is the same as writing 30. And then I have 7 ones. So I've broken apart my number 137. I've put it into expanded form. If I was to put addition symbols right here, this would be how you would write 137 in expanded form. Now I'm going to go over and look at the number 55. There are no hundreds in the number 55, so we are not going to put anything there. However, this 5 stands for 5 groups of 10, which is the same as writing 50, and 5 ones. So now that I've broken apart my numbers, I've made it easier to solve. So I'm going to start by looking at my hundreds. I'm going to use a different color just so that we can tell what was work that we did first step and what's work we're doing the second step. So if I take a look here, I've got my group of 100, and then I have 0 groups of 100 over here. So I'm simply going to solve the problem 100 plus 0, which equals 100. For the next step, it's really important that you make sure to line up your numbers based on place values so that you get the correct answer. So I am going to look at my 30 and my 50. Those are both the place values that are in my tens place. So I'm going to make sure I line it up, 30 plus 50. Now, I can use the knowledge I know about adding tens, and I know that I can add 3 plus 5, which is 8. And then add a 0 onto the end to get 80. So far, I have 100 plus 80, but I can't forget about my ones. So I go back up here and I look at this 7 and this 5. When I add 7 plus 5, I know that I get 12. Running out of space here, but now what I'm going to do is I am going to add up all of these numbers to get my final answer. 0 plus 0 is plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 8 plus 1 is 9. And then 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1. So now I've found out that my unknown equals 192. So that is how you use the break apart strategy when solving a addition problem. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the break apart strategy to solve a subtraction problem. So for this one, we are going to solve 116 minus 45. This time our unknown is going to be a star. I also know when using an unknown, I can flip it and do it this way. Star equals 116 minus 45, and it means the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and use my break apart strategy again. I have another 3-digit number here, so I'm going to draw my 3 lines like this. And I have a 2-digit number here, so I will draw just 2 lines. We know that this 1 stands for 100. This 1 stands for one group of 10, or 10. And this digit stands for 6 ones. Over here, we don't have anything in the hundreds place, but we do have this 4, which stands for 40. And this 5, which stands for 5 ones. I'm going to switch colors again. So my next step will be to do just what I did last time, except this time I'm going to make sure I'm subtracting, because that's what the problem is asking me to do. So first, I'm going to start with my group of 100. There aren't any groups of 100 over here, so it's simply going to be 100 minus 0, which we know equals 100. For the next problem, I'm going to go ahead and look at this 10, and I'm going to look at this 40. That's right here. You might notice that we cannot solve 10 minus 40. So I need to go ahead and do some borrowing. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to cross off this group of 100 and make it a 0. Then I am going to borrow that group of 100 and add it over here. So I know that 100 plus 10 equals 110. So now we have 110 minus 40. So I'm going to count backwards by tens to help me solve this. So 110, we've got 100, 90, 80, 70. So I end up with 70 left. My last step that I need to do is take a look at these ones. I can't forget them. That leaves me with 6 minus 5. And I know my fact fluency and can very quickly solve that to get 1. Now we've been left with a pretty easy addition problem. When you're using the break apart strategy, no matter if you're doing a subtraction problem or an addition problem, when you get to this final step right here, you always add, because you have your partial products, your partial remainders, you always add. So 70 plus 1 I know is 71. So my unknown equals 71. All right, friends, so that is how you do the break apart strategy. This is one of many strategies that we have learned in 2nd grade, and this is one that you can use if there's a problem that you're solving and you need to have a second strategy, or you want to check your work, or if this is what you're comfortable using, this can be a strategy that you can use. All right, see you guys soon.